Hello there. I'm Linda Jo Martin, the Book Lady. Welcome to the Friday the 13th birthday edition of Friday Reads. Today is Friday, July 13th, my 66th birthday. Yes, I am 66 today. Rather excited about that. And so I'm going to start with the Friday Reads portion of this video by telling you what I'm going to be reading this weekend, which is mainly going to be, as far as fiction goes, I'm going to be reading this book, All the Light We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr, and I'm about halfway through, a little more than halfway through. Really loving it. It is an awesome book. If you have not read this yet, I sincerely hope that you will consider putting this on your TBR list, because it's amazing. I thought it was very well written, and the main characters are two very young people, teenagers, so in some ways it could be seen as a YA book, but it's not really YA because this is a kind of book that would appeal to anyone, and in fact it won the Pulitzer Prize in 2014. I believe it was 2014 or 15. Anyhow, great book. Truly love this book. So excited and happy that I am reading it. And so when that's done, I will be reading this one. I already told you about this in my last video. This is So Far from the Bamboo Grove by Yoko Kawashima Watkins, and I'm definitely planning to read this one next. As far as fiction goes, now I have a lot of nonfiction books that I'm also reading in the other room, and I'm going to put a little screenshot of them here. These are all Christian books, and I will discuss things like that on my new Christian channel, which is Redeemed in Love. I do have a few new books. I thought I'd tell you about them now. This one is The Life We Bury, which last time I did a little book haul, I told you about the buried book, and this is The Life We Bury. It's like, is there a pattern here? I don't know. I also did Burial Rites. I finished reading that one a few weeks ago. Anyhow, The Life We Bury is by Alan Eskins. It is, I believe, something about a Vietnam War veteran, and other than that, I don't know what it's about. I just know that as soon as I saw this book, which was probably at least a year ago at this point, I wanted to read it. So it's on my list, and in fact it's in my hand. So it's getting close. I'm going to read this book, more than likely. Now my friend Judy, God bless you Judy, I just love my friend Judy, she recommended this book. It's called Grandma Gatewood's Walk. I guess she read via the audiobook, and I went out and got the paperback version. It says it's the inspiring story of the woman who saved the Appalachian Trail. I love hiking and biking memoirs, and I do have a bicycle memoir on my TBR list. It is Barbara Savage's book. The name has just slipped my mind, but I'll put the book cover here so that we can all remember her book. How could I forget that? Oh, Miles from Nowhere. Yeah, she rode her bicycle around the world, and that one has been on my TBR list all year, and I'm kind of thinking November, nonfiction November would be a good time to read it. But here's another nonfiction travel thing that's on my mind. Grandma Gatewood's Walk is just exciting for me because I've always been fascinated by long distance hiking, and I don't know if I'll ever be able to do it, but this grandma did, and so maybe she'll inspire me to do the same. It would be awesome. What does it feel like to have a Friday the 13th birthday? Well, most of you will never know what that feels like. But for those of us that were born on the 13th day of any month, we know that about every 7 years we're going to have a Friday the 13th birthday. It's just inevitable. And I'm happy to report I was not born on Friday the 13th. In fact, one of my friends asked me that yesterday. And no, I was born on a Tuesday. Now, if you remember the little poem, Tuesday's child is full of grace. So I cling to that. but I was born on the 13th, so I get these Friday the 13th birthdays, and you know, not much bad happened today, but there was something bad that happened. I went to a coffee place and got a few little treats like mocha, a blended mocha, and some pumpkin bread, and a burrito. They have vegetarian, vegan, actually, burritos there. And when I went to start again, my car would not start. And I found out that the battery in my car is not strong enough to start again when I am using my air conditioner at high speed. So live and learn. Anyhow, onward with that. That's the only bad luck I had today. And then when I turned off the air conditioning, the car started up again. It was just fine. And I will have it checked soon. I do have some goals for this year. And the first one that I'd like to talk about is Writers Club. It was also on my goals in January, and I have not gone to a Writers Club meeting yet, but I just got informed about another Writers Club that I think would be better for me, a better fit for me. And so they take place twice a month, and I'm kind of excited about starting that next week. So one of my goals is to make progress on having my books published. I have so many book publication fantasies, and I've got some novels written that just need to be edited a little bit more and put into book format over there at Amazon. I'm going to do all the publishing myself. I consider it a work of art from start to finish. I did that with my novel in 2012. I guess I published it in 2012, River Girl. And I plan to do that with some of my other novels, and I want to do it as quickly as possible because I'm not young anymore, and I'm not getting any younger, so I should do it now, or it might not get done. Another goal is that I am 66 this year, and it would be a great time for me to drive Highway 66 from Santa Monica all the way to Chicago. And I think that would be so awesome. I've wanted to do it for years, and now I have the opportunity. I actually could do this. So it's on my mind. I might be doing that. Not sure when. I really don't want to end up in Chicago in December when there's snow, but we'll see what happens. And another goal, in order to do that, I need a travel vehicle. I have a nice car. Well, let's just say it's not a new car, but it's in pretty good shape, and I like it a lot, and it was my mother's car, so it is near and dear to my heart. And she gave it to me 3 weeks before she had a stroke and passed away in 2017 in February. And that car just has gotten me around for the last year, and I'm so grateful for it. However, if I'm going to be traveling, I do not want to have to stay in hotels all the time. So I need some kind of a travel vehicle, and I've considered getting a school bus and doing a conversion to RV with a school bus. And that's kind of economical because the school bus wouldn't cost more than about, I don't know, $3,000 to $5,000 depending on where I got it. A lot of them can be bought from auctions fairly inexpensively, and they're very well built to begin with, and I think it's a great option. The other option is to get some kind of a van. So I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. A van is easier to park. It's smaller and sort of easier to find places to park it because some places won't take school buses as RVs. I have noticed that a lot of campgrounds are charging ridiculously high fees, like $60 a night, and I'm not going there. So a travel vehicle, that's another goal. I have a website called Journey California, and it has been my long-time goal to travel around California and write about it. I was born in California, in Oakland, in 1952. I lived in California all my life until 2013, and I always wanted to just travel around California and write about my home state. However, my home state is like a foreign country to me now. And so I may be doing a lot of traveling in California. I do have relatives that I want to visit there, and that might be happening right before I go on the Highway 66 adventure. So I will be writing more on my Journey California blog if this all goes right. Next on my list is to go on the ferry boat excursion on Lake Coeur d'Alene, something that I've been wanting to do as long as I've lived here. And the last thing on my list of things I would like to do during my 66th year is hike more. I need to do more hiking, and today I actually did. It's another thing I did right before I went to the coffee house where the car wouldn't start. I went to a park. It was a very nice park, and I wished that I had had my camera with me so I could share it with you, so I'll just have to go back some other time and show you this beautiful park that we have here in North Idaho in my little town, which is Post Falls. So yesterday I went to a Bible study in the morning, and afterwards I went out for a birthday lunch with 3 of my friends, and I asked them to each give me a suggestion or a little piece of advice for the coming year. So my first friend, her name's Shirley, she told me to stay active. So today I did. I took a hike, and I want to do a lot more hiking this year, and I think that's a wonderful piece of advice she gave me. Stay active. And the second piece of advice came from Peggy, and she said, keep your heart open. I thought that was so sweet. Yeah, that's a beautiful piece of advice. Keep your heart open. Don't close yourself off to anybody. Really, everyone needs love. So the third piece of advice came from my friend Nita, and she said, trust the Lord, or trust God. I'm not sure exactly what she said. Okay, trust the Lord or trust God, but anyhow, you get the idea, trust. And that is essential. In order to get any of this done, I'm going to have to trust Him. So those were my 3 pieces of advice from my 3 very sweet and dear friends that went out to lunch with me yesterday to celebrate my birthday. And I would like to ask you, since you're watching this, what is your advice for me for the next year? I would love to get a few words of advice from each of you. It would mean so much to me. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope to make another one soon. Bye.